Hey everyone, welcome back to Legacy Builders. On today's episode, we're going to talk about how I had my near-death experience. It transformed how I viewed my soul's purpose and what I wanted to do in this life. At that point, things started going well and I started making a lot of money and impact for the first time in my life. But unfortunately, things changed and I found myself back at ground zero with nothing but experience to show for it. That is the story that I want to share with you today so you can learn from my lessons that I had to go through the hard way. That's part of my aim with sharing my story. It's that through it, you can apply the lessons to your own life and shortcut the learning curve to create even more success and impact in your own experience.
So Bryan, in our last episode, we talked about your journey through college and how after you graduated college, you were in your master's, getting your master's for entrepreneurship. But you also were learning online marketing, affiliate marketing, and you found yourself making more money while you're in college than probably most of your professors. And so you left. Now that you knew what was possible, now that you knew all these opportunities that existed and that you could make a lot of money, how did that start to impact what you wanted in life and maybe like what your desires were at that point?
So I went from working part-time, living on student loans, making $15 an hour in my master's degree, to kind of buy time to really figure out what I was going to do, to then, making more in 3 days than my teachers were making all month, and realizing that, that was really an energy leak. It was a waste of time. And, I really needed to go head first into my business. And so what I did was I went deeper in affiliate marketing. I started promoting all types of things, and I promoting literally all types of stuff from software to info products to weight loss offers to colon cleanses to acai berry to resveratrol. I mean, I was promoting all types of things. So from physical products to software to all types of things. And I literally got my commissions up. I was doing between $2,000 a day to $5,000 a day in commissions. And I remember that time really well because I was making more than my dad was making, having a business, having about 10 employees, and doing what he was doing. So I was doing better than him at this point. I was working part-time. It wasn't even a full-time gig. I was golfing 3 days a week. And
how old were you at this point?
And I was in my mid-20s.
Yeah. A life
Mid-20s.
That not people are living in their mid-20s.
Oh, no. I mean, you hear about these things. I was hearing about these stories of people living in abundance, working 4 hours a week, right? Like Tim Ferriss talks about this 4-hour work week. That was what I had. I had a 4-hour work week. I would check my stats. I would scale up and down campaigns, and life was great. At that time, my desires were really, I wanted to get up to 100,000 a month consistently. Okay. I wanted to be able to travel the world. I wanted to be able to, I was looking for my wife at the time. Like I wanted to raise a family. I wanted to have kids. I wanted to have a family. The problem though, at that time was I was an affiliate. And so I didn't have my own brand. I was just promoting stuff and I'd make commissions. So the problem with that is I did have some campaigns that were doing pretty well, but then they dried up and then I have to move on to the next thing. Okay. So it was really a roller coaster, right? I mean, that one summer was amazing. Every day, $2,000 to $5,000 a day, every single day. And it was incredible. Built up a nice cash reserve. But then that dried up. That just ended. And so the challenge was at that time in my life, in my career was, it felt like I was constantly chasing what's this next new, best thing or big thing. Right. And so that's what it was constantly a hustle and grind kind of situation where it's like, okay, I'm looking for the next product launch and the next product launch and the next product launch. And I moved from Liberty to Aspen, Colorado. And I moved in about 2008 over to Aspen, Colorado, because there was a partner there who said, hey, what you're doing with affiliate marketing is amazing. How about I fund all your campaigns and we just scale it? I was like, oh, that's a great idea, actually. Like, you take care of the money and I'll take care of the campaigns. And flew my brother and I out to Colorado, to Aspen. We did some snowboarding. And I was like, this is a great idea. Put me up in a $10 million house that he built. He was a real estate developer, and built houses and hotels. And he created his wealth in his career in real estate. And he was at a place where he was ready to retire or kind of settle down. And his goals really were to make $40,000 a month passively, doing nothing, just selling stuff as an affiliate and just funding campaigns that brought that revenue in, that profit in. Now, meanwhile, I was at a place where I was in my mid-20s and I wanted to build a brand. So I'd always had this desire. I came up in the internet when product launches were a big thing, where someone would do a product launch and they'd sell $5 or $10 million worth of stuff in a week. Or I remember the first $1 million day with John Reese with Traffic Secrets, which now Russell Brunson owns that brand, right? But I was a part of that. I promoted that as an affiliate. So I remember those days, and I remember thinking, I was like, this is great as an affiliate to make these commissions, but imagine being the owner of that product. You would make 100 times more. And you would get all the commissions first, and then you pay all the affiliates. So I always saw that was something I wanted to grow into. And so I found myself in Aspen, Colorado, and I had, presented this idea to my partner, said, hey, I want to create a product that's traffic. It's a traffic product, teaching people all different types of how to get traffic to your website. And at the time I called it Traffic Tsunamis. And so what I did was, my concept was, I'm going to go buy every course on traffic. And then I'm going to create a simplified, fast, kind of checklist and kind of like do this. So my concept was, okay, let's take $20,000 worth of courses and condense it down for $2,000. Right? It was actually a really good idea. So I spent 8 months. Okay. I was an affiliate. Okay. Selling other people's stuff. Right. We were doing well with that, running traffic on Google, focusing on keyword traffic and then bringing people to us and having them buy through us. That was working great. But I wanted something more. I wanted to have my own products, have my own brand. I wanted to make a lot more money than what I was making as an affiliate. And so I created, this advanced funnel system at the time to launch this product, with upsells and downsells and all types of stuff. In fact, we were building it out in Infusionsoft, which is now not even Infusionsoft anymore because they changed their brand name. But the head developer was like, the way that you've built this and architected this is more advanced than 99.9% of the people that use our platform. So I had to hire their team of developers to build it on Infusionsoft. It was that sophisticated and advanced. Now, where things went sideways was when my partners, they were part of a high-level mastermind with a lot of the top internet marketers, and they went and I wasn't able to go. It was only 2 people. So him and his wife went. They presented my plan, my idea, and literally it got kiboshed. All these guys were like, oh, we don't really need another traffic program in the market. There's already enough of them. We don't think that will do well. And so they came back from that like, yeah, these guys don't think that launching a traffic product would do well. Except for one guy. One guy said that wasn't in the industry, said, hey, you should probably give Bryan a chance. And I'm like, okay. That sucks. I spent 8 months developing this thing and now I'm not getting the support and blessing from all of these top marketers. And at the end of the day, really what was going on? I mean, Instagram wasn't even a thing yet. TikTok wasn't even in existence. There was all types of platforms that we have now that they weren't even formed or even in the minds of people yet at this point. So to say that the world didn't need another traffic product is absolutely ridiculous. Really, at the end of the day, it was them not wanting more competition, more people taking money out of the pie for them. That's really what it boiled down to. And so I found myself in this place where I had to make a hard decision. It was like, what do I do now? I can't do this. And I have a partner who's really funding everything. So what am I going to do? And my partner was like, hey, man, we just want to do affiliate marketing. We just want to sell people stuff. We want a very passive business. And I was like, yeah, I think that's great, but it's not fulfilling. It's not. I really don't feel like I really don't feel like it's what I'm called to do. I really want to build a brand. I want to have my own products. And so we separated. I flew back to Pennsylvania, and it was great. I mean, Aspen was great. It was an amazing time. But I flew back to Pennsylvania to be with my family to kind of regroup, rethink what I was going to do. And then it was there that I started serving local businesses. And so I started a website. From one day, I was prompted to start a website and start blogging. And so that's what I did. I started blogging. And within 2 weeks, I had someone hit me up from my website, which I wasn't even advertising. And he said, "Hey, Bryan, I want to help launching this product. Can you help me?" And at the time, I was like, "Yeah, sure, I can do that." This was like 2009. And so I met with this guy at a coffee shop. I said, "How did you find me?" He's like, "I found your website." I was like, "Well, that's crazy because I'm not even advertising it." So that shows the power of producing content and putting it out there, right? And I ended up landing a $60,000 contract. I was like, "Wow, that actually worked." Like, that was amazing. And so that led me down a path of serving local businesses. So I started serving all types of different local businesses, doing all these different local marketing strategies to get dentists and accountants and just different people that had local service-based businesses. Now, during that time in my life, I also met a girl and we started dating. We got serious and we decided we were going to move to California. So we packed up our bags, we shipped a car out to California, and we just upped and landed in San Diego with no plan at all. Like, we had no clue where we wanted to live. I had traveled as a kid to California. My dad, he had trade shows in Orange County, and then we would go and we'd drive all over the state. And I thought it was amazing because I thought, California as a kid, to me, they were always ahead of the eight ball. Like, they were health conscious, they were innovative. They were always like a step ahead of everybody else. And there was a saying at the time that New York and California were always like 2 or 3 years ahead of the rest of the country. And so, as a kid, I always wanted to live in California. So we moved to California. And then when we got to California, I launched a blog network, which is basically, my buddy had 1,000 websites that we could post on. And I started a service that people would send me their links and their keywords, and we would post content to our network of sites, and their rankings would all go up. Okay. So got to San Diego. Mind you, at the time I had a few local service clients that was producing the cash flow that we needed to live in California. And I launched this blog network, and it went crazy. We went from 0 to 70,000 a month in recurring commissions in less than 90 days. I mean, the thing just took off, and I spent zero out of pocket. I didn't spend a dime. It was all organic. It was all free traffic. I had an affiliate that was using my platform, and his results were so dramatic that he's like, "Okay, I need to tell everyone that I know about what this is, and they need to use it." And so, literally, from one affiliate, we went from 0 to 70,000 a month in less than 90 days, and it was surely a moment where I thought that I made it. I was like, "Man, this is going to be my ticket. This is going to be my golden ticket to freedom." And then after that, 90 days hit. Google came out with their very first algorithm update called Panda, and it was like a bloodbath. We lost 100 sites a day, and over the course of 10 days, the entire network of sites was completely crushed. I mean, useless.
And did Google just did they shut those sites down, or were they just taking them out of the rankings?
They just delisted them. So all of a sudden, not only did my buddy lose all those websites, but all the clients that we were serving, now all those websites had no relevance. They had no meaning. So now I wasn't able to sell links. So I literally had to turn off 70,000 a month in recurring revenue, which is terrible. I mean, think about it. And I had to start from scratch. And so what happened from there was I went to Hawaii. I said, "Hey, listen, let's go to Hawaii for a couple months. Let's reset. Like, we need a hard reset. We need to disconnect from what just happened." We had an amazing high, and then we're like, we need to go regroup. Like, we need to rethink this. And we went to Hawaii, went to Maui for a month. I actually went to Maui for 2 months, and then we went to the Big Island as well throughout that time. But it was in Hawaii that I was awakened in the middle of the night. It was about 12:30 at night, and I woke up with Perfect Funnel System. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. And Perfect Funnel System stood out, and there was a headline about how I helped this guy Bryan launch a personal development course. See, in 2010, I helped this guy launch his expertise online using webinars. And so now, mind you, this is 2012. I'm in Hawaii. Okay, we're in Maui in particular. Okay, in Haiku, if you're familiar with the place, Haiku, living on basically staying in this amazing Airbnb spot. And I woke up in the middle of the night, 12:30, and it's like boom, it just hit me. Like I need to teach people how we did that, because what happened was we launched a webinar selling this guy's expertise, and we did $150,000 in 90 days with less than $5,000 out of pocket. And the idea that I received was like, other people need to know this. Like other people will pay you for this information. Like, okay. So after that, all types of ideas were flooding my mind. And I actually created a course around this whole Perfect Funnel System concept on the beaches in Hawaii. I launched this program in Hawaii, and I started selling it right from the beaches in Hawaii. And when I knew I was onto something was when I had people that I was looking up to as mentors were buying my product. Okay, now think about this. This is 2010. 2010 was when I did my first webinar, okay, for a client. Then it was 2012. I started doing my own webinars on the beaches in Hawaii, and I started selling my information, successfully selling it. Okay. And I was getting people that were buying it. They were like Russell Brunson and like people of that caliber were buying my information. So I was like, man, I'm onto something. Like this might be the next best thing, the next big thing. And so I came back from Hawaii to San Diego, and I started getting invited to different events, and I started speaking about what the Perfect Funnel System was. And I was at a mastermind, and I was sharing my framework. It's a 7-part system. And I was sharing this framework, and there was a guy who had a vacation company. And he said, hey, Bryan, I love what you're doing. Do you think I could use a Perfect Funnel System for my business? And I was like, well, what's your business? He's like, oh, we're a vacation company. We sell our resort. We have resorts across the country. I was like, yeah, absolutely. He flew me and my girlfriend out to Bonnet Creek, Orlando, which is in Florida, inside the gates of Disney, put us up at a penthouse, and we dissected his business, which was doing about $1.5 million a year. And within 6 months after we came in and I started applying different strategies, we took them from 1.5 to 5.3 million in 6 months.
That was your first funnel day.
It. No, that wasn't my first funnel day. Well, technically it was, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
I was doing it for free. I did it for free, yeah.
Right. But yeah, it's cool to see like how things that are now normal in your business, how they come to be through kind of going back and looking at your story.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Well, at that time, before I started charging for strategy sessions and mapping out business, I did them for free, right? He flew me out, put me up on his dime. We stayed at an amazing resort, and I asked him a series of about 13 different questions, and I found there was all types of holes in his business, very glaring holes too.
Right.
And we were able to help him scale that company.
So you now have the Perfect Funnel System as the company. You're starting to get some more traction, realizing, okay, I can start doing this for other companies. Did you continue to see more traction, more growth with that?
So at that moment in time, this was 2013, like 12 into 13, that time frame, I spent a ton of energy scaling that vacation company. So I had brought my dad in, my brother in, I brought my sister in, I brought people outside of my world in, right, to scale it. So we started doing all types of stuff. We started doing paid advertising, improving the operations of the business, hiring salespeople. I mean, all types of different functions that we did, because my vision was, let's take this to $100 million, right? Like I had the vision for it, and I saw a clear path to making it happen. What happened was, because I was so immersed in that business, I really stopped focusing on acquiring new business. Okay. And I put all my efforts and all my eggs into that basket because I was like, man, this could be the next big thing that I could really set my career up and my life up for success. Mind you, I was in a serious committed relationship. We were dating at that point for 3 years, living together, working together. We did everything together. And, I was spending 2 weeks in Florida and 2 weeks in California, 2 weeks in Florida, 2 weeks in California. So I was back and forth. And, I was one of my last sessions out in Florida, where I got them to this place where they were able to do, 5.3 million a year and beyond that. I flew home and, that's where things started to shift in a big way. I flew home and, I hadn't seen my girlfriend that I was dating for 2 weeks. We talked here and there, but we hadn't seen each other. And, she was actually just leaving a couple days after to go on a health conference. Okay. And so she was going to this health conference and it was in Texas. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm not flying to Texas and I'm not going to a health conference. I'm too busy. Like I got to stay focused. I've got things. I got to manage this team. I've got to get things done here. So have fun. I'll see you when you get back. So I dropped her off at the airport and my buddy calls me that Friday night. He calls me up and he said, hey man, there's something I've been wanting to tell you for the last couple of months, but I haven't been able to say it yet. I didn't feel it was the right time, but now is the right time. I was like, okay, what is it? Shoot me with it. And he's like, she's been, your girlfriend, she's been unfaithful. She's been cheating on you, blah, blah, blah. And his girlfriend was best friends with her. So that's how he knew about it. And at that time, I mean, for me, I was really in a shock. I mean, I really didn't see that coming. It was a blindside for sure. My world was rocked because I was in my viewpoint, I had just had a company and I had a huge win. I mean, I helped these guys really scale, in a big way and beyond 5.3 million. I mean, I saw $100 million a year business. And so I was like, man, this is it. Like we've reached, the pinnacle of success, right? Like we've absolutely crushed it and we've gotten to a place where we can scale and life is amazing. And then come home to find out that, she's unfaithful. She's been cheating on me. And now all of a sudden my personal life is completely, wrecked. What happened for me at that moment was I went to the only place I knew, which was, into, prayer, into meditation, into scripture, and seeking God for the solution because I didn't have it. I didn't really know. I was defeated. I was devastated. I was, in tears. I thought I was going to get married. We're going to have kids. Like that's where my head was at that time. And when I was presented with that, I realized that our relationship will never be the same. That it has to shift. And so I went to the only place I knew to go, which was, consulting from God. And I went 3 days. I was just immersed in scripture, in worship, in prayer. I probably called my dad, my family, to get advice and seek counsel as well. But I really went to God. And through that was really amazing is God revealed to me that he said, he's told me I have someone better prepared and planned for you, better than you can think or imagine. And all of a sudden, like this peace washed over me after I received that word. And at the time, I didn't see it how it was even possible. I mean, quite frankly, I was like, how can anything get any better than this? I thought I had the best of what I could experience. And God just gave me that peace that I needed to get myself off the couch and get back out there and keep moving forward. And so that happened. And then a couple of weeks later, the vacation company that helped scale, he calls me and said, "Hey, Bryan, we're going in a different direction. We need to shift. We need to go in a different direction." And basically, he ripped the rug out from under me, and I lost that partnership. So I was generating about $50,000 a month from that partnership, and all of a sudden, that whole thing just crumbled as well. And so think about it. I mean, for me at this time, this is 2013, I lost the girl that I thought I was going to marry and have a family and build a family with. And I found out that the business that I just absolutely helped crush it completely ripped the rug out from under me and replaced our team with like one guy who could just basically manage it. Even if, and in his words was, even if we went back to 3 million, we're doing a heck of a lot better than we were at 1.5. And, my brain couldn't comprehend it, but it was like I was forced to pivot. Like there was no choice in this matter. Even though I was an equity partner in the company, I mean, literally today, I still am an equity partner in this company, technically on the books. Like I have the equity papers, but it was ripped. I mean, it was a hard rip. And so what happened was I flew home to Pennsylvania again, be with my family. I said, you know what? I need to go regroup. I need to be around my roots. I need to go and I need to figure out what I'm going to do next, because I'm not doing anything with the vacation company, and I'm not doing anything with this girl that I was dating for 3 years. And it was tough. I mean, it was a challenge. It was a very emotional time, as you can imagine. For me, it was almost like we were so together and connected. It was like losing a part of me, like a part of me was dying, had to die. And, but God, God was there through me with it. He was, really keeping me in his arms through the whole process, looking back on it. And then I was back home in Pennsylvania, and I woke up one morning with the thought of do what you know works. And that's when this idea hit me which was, well, what do I know that I can do that works? Well, I can be an affiliate, sell other people's stuff, and I can offer services to people who need help with scaling their businesses on the internet. Like I can help with advertising and funnels and marketing and selling. And I can use my expertise to help other people, but I can also be an affiliate. So what I did was I built a site where I knew I can get in front of traffic. Yeah, that was really important. It was like, okay, I can do this, but where do I start? And at the time, ClickFunnels wasn't in existence. This was 2013. It might have been a thought in Russell's mind, but it wasn't in existence yet. And so I was using Optimized Press pretty heavily. I was one of their top affiliates. And so I built Optimized Press Ninja. I said, you know what? A lot of people who are building funnels don't want to build them themselves. So I'll build a site where I can promote Optimized Press and get affiliate commissions, because I was already doing that. I already had affiliate commissions from Optimized Press. I was like, I can just scale that. And anybody who doesn't want to build funnels themselves, I can build them for them, and we can run their campaigns, right? And so that's the day my brother and I, we sat down, we built a site out called Optimized Press Ninja, and then we started advertising. Shortly after that, we started advertising for that keyword, which was Optimized Press. And literally within less than 30 days, I went from I was spending $15 a day, and we got up to over $10,000 a month in revenue. The affiliate commissions were paying for all the advertising, and more than $10,000 in revenue was coming in from clients that were needing help.
Right.
And that's when I decided, okay, now I can, I found a new path, right? I found a new path, and I ended up moving back to California and rented out an apartment in La Jolla, California. And then from there began to scale my business and take it to the next level.
Yeah. I love that. It seems to be consistent that you take these moments to these seasons to like regroup. That, both in this episode, we've talked about two different times where you had these big challenges, and, first you went to Hawaii to kind of regroup, and then, you kind of came back to Pennsylvania, and, God spoke to you in these moments. And so I think in this next episode, we're going to dive into what was that journey? What were some of what was the plan that you knew would work? That God spoke to you, hey, this is going to work. What were some of the challenges, and what were some of the achievements that really, that plan is to some extent what you're still doing today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from that place, and we'll get into it in the next episode, but from that place, my business really took off like a rocket, but there were some key milestones that I think are really important to share. Because my business was growing and being successful, but there was definitely defining moments where my business took off like a rocket. And that's very different than gradual growth. Taking off like a rocket is a very different situation. So yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing that in the next episode. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Legacy Builders. We ended this story at a place where I knew that even though life and business can be challenging, we have to move forward. We have to have a vision that is exciting and is pulling us into the future. As God says, man without vision shall perish. And therefore I say, man with vision shall flourish. The next episode, I'm going to share what I did to get back off the ground and build a growing $25 million plus agency that has produced more results than nearly anyone in the entire ClickFunnels community of more than 102,000 members. Now, if you'd like help tapping into the exploding industry of self-education that's expected to grow to $1 billion a day, I would suggest checking out launchexpertise.com. That's launchexpertise.com, where you can get a copy of my free book, The Entrepreneur Evangelist. You can join 33 days of coaching for free, where over the 33 days, you'll learn how to launch your expertise online the right way, you'll learn how to scale your impact, and you'll learn how to build your legacy. Or, if you'd like to take the fastest path to launching your expertise online, scaling your impact, you can hire my team and I to bring our expertise to the table of your expertise to help you go even faster and make greater impact to those that you're called to serve. Again, that's launchexpertise.com.